Boo! Hey girl, hey girl, hey! Get ready for part 3 of Makeup and Mythos. We're gonna talk about the Titanomachy. If you haven't watched the other two, maybe go back. It might be a little bit confusing. If not, it's not the end of the world. You might catch on. Hopefully we'll finish the main Genesis storyline and we can move on to individual god myths. If not, we might talk about the giants. Don't know yet. But yeah, get ready. I'm gonna do a little look. Inspired by a Titan War? It'd be a little cheap to just do like blood. I don't know. Might try and draw a mountain. We're gonna do whatever we want. So, that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first that we need to talk about before we totally get into the Titanomachy. The first thing is that a lot of the Titans split sides, which did not make Kronos the happiest person. Polyphemus and his brother sided with Zeus. Hi, next day Circe here. I just got out of the shower. I'm editing. I don't know why I said Polyphemus. It's Prometheus. Polyphemus is a Cyclops later, so if I say that, no, that's not what I mean. That's not the Titan. There you go. For what reasons, I'm not exactly sure. Later on, they go on to create man, and I don't know, maybe they trusted Zeus in more of a creativity outlet. Let's say that's what it is. Oh, that looks really yellow. I'll fix it, it'll look better. I hope. Along with, I think they were the only ones that fought. They were the only ones that fought alongside Zeus, but many Titans didn't pick sides, which is kind of lame. I mean, it's a full-on war. Like, come on, do something. That's so lame. And I feel like that's a danger because whoever wins isn't gonna like you for not picking sides. But I mean, it's at least good that Zeus had some sort of allyship with some of the Titans. So Helios, I believe, who is the Titan sun god, and his sister Selene, I can't remember if they actually helped fight or if they just didn't take a side. I don't think they took a side. And then after Zeus, spoiler alert, Zeus is gonna win the fight. I mean, that's why most people know about him more than Kronos. I believe he just let them do their job, which again, like, I don't know. I feel like, I'm just saying, like, if I was a dictator, I don't think I would be letting these bitches that, like, did nothing just, like, get away with not picking sides. That seems like a recipe for disaster. With that being said, there is a lot of, I guess it's not racial, but distrust between the Titans and the gods, even after Zeus was ruling. I mean, later on we see the treatment of Circe, and anyone, including Polyphemus, who was perceived as a Titan to betray the gods and were much more quickly punished. And I think I can, you know, what's the word? Accurately say punished worse. But that's spoilers. Spoilers! I don't want to spoil that. So yeah, that's the kind of, that's the basis of it, along with the 4 Titans of the Directions being like the main generals on his team. Atlas, who, if you've ever heard even just like a little bit about mythology, you're probably familiar with. I mic just fell in there. If you've heard anything about mythology, you're probably fairly aware of Atlas, or even just the name itself. He was in the Titan battle. He was a very powerful and strong general for Zeus, along with, like I said, the 4 gods of the Directions. Aepatus is one of them. not gonna look up all of them. I talked about them in my last video. And yeah, I'm not, this is the thing, I don't think the women fought, at least on the Titan side, but I think that depends on the myth, because I've heard different things. But when it comes to the god side, all of the Zeus's siblings, Hera, Hestia, Poseidon, Hades, and Demeter all fought along with their new weapons, or the new weapons that they got from the 100-handed ones, I'm not saying their name, and also the Cyclopses, who they both freed from Tartarus per Gaia's request. And I'm not sure that Gaia helped. I'm sure in some way, but I think at this point, Gaia is sort of like resting. She doesn't really come back into much more of the mythos. She kind of takes a back seat when it comes to mythology. I think she just kind of got sick of all her children's bullshit, which is honestly like, can you blame her? Her children are insane, but so is she, so. Yeah, I think that's good for now. I'm going to get some more stuff and get an idea of what I want to do, and then I will come right back because we're done with the skin. So, imagine this, right? We have a group of powerful young immortals and ancient titans set to battle it out for the future of godhood, the human race, which wasn't actually created yet, and you know, all the power of the heavens, which I don't even know how much the power of the heavens. So this is something that's really interesting. So most people, I gotta stop saying that word. Most people know of Mount Olympus because it is famously the home of the Greek gods. But that was not actually the original mountain. The Titan's mountain was Mount Othryss. It's Othrys. Othryss? I don't know Greek well enough to know how you pronounce that. And it was actually taller than Mount Olympus. Now in Greece, like nowadays, if you, I don't know if Mount Olympus is a real thing, but, not nowadays, sorry. In like the lore, Mount Othryss was originally taller than Mount Olympus, but during the battle, because of how ferocious it was, and it was destroyed, Mount Othryss that is, it actually fell like further down, and it became, and was destroyed, it became shorter than Mount Olympus, which something I always thought was interesting, because the Greeks make a big point of Mount Olympus being the tallest mountain in all of Greece. But I guess if I actually took place in Thessaly, hope I'm saying that right. So that was always interesting to me, because originally, like when it first came to be, it actually wasn't the biggest mountain until the war. So I want you to imagine this. The storms are raging, summoned by the gods. On the top of Mount Othryss, the Titans stand, waiting and looking down for the ensuing battle to start. We have gods waiting at the bottom, weapons in hand, the Cyclops, some Titans, the 100-handed ones, ready to risk it all, overthrow an evil and corrupt man who ate his own children for the sake of justice. Kronos! Kronos, your time has come for you to fall and for justice to rise. No, Zeus, the prophecy will not succeed today. My legacy will reign on this earth forever, and Mount Othryss will tower over your dead corpses. I don't know, that's what I imagine. That's what I imagine is going on. Why not? Why the fuck not? So, the giants, the cyclopses, doesn't sound very cool what they did. They just like threw stones and shit, which is kind of funny because later on, spoiler alerts, the giants actually do the same exact thing. They throw stones at Mount Olympus. I don't know, that doesn't seem like an effective way to battle a mountain, like just throwing stones at it, but who do I know? What do I know? I don't know mountain warfare. Who am I? Who am I? Please tell me, actually. Who am I? So, this war actually lasted for 10 years, which is insane. That is so long for a battle. And I also wonder, like, holy shit, like, for living things, that's insane, because I can only imagine that the after effects of the battle were, like, insane. There's so much going on. I mean, they're freaking gods, for heaven's sakes, you know? Like, holy crap. But eventually, in truly a miraculous way, the Greek gods overpower and win, defeating the Titans. And that's also something that I also wish could be explained, because I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but that part interests me warfare wise, because the Titans, I think they're at least a little bit stronger than the gods. And I have heard discussed before, the turning point and what really secured their victory was the help of the hundred-handed ones and the giants. Or not the giants, sorry, the cyclopses. Which makes sense, because with that many Titans, I mean, it's not just the original 12, because they have children, and of course you still have the primordial other gods, which I don't think they did anything. Actually, I don't know if they took sides. I don't think the other primordial gods, like Nyx, who is the primordial god of the night. You've got the primordial god of the ocean, Tartarus. As far as I know, no one else took sides, which is interesting. But it worked out in the end, and they won. And I'm going to get into the rest of it once I figure out what I'm doing, because these were supposed to be like mountain ranges, and now they look like angry Frida Kahlo eyebrows. So I'll be back. Okay, so after the war, there was a couple things that happened. The main one, obviously, being that the new pantheon of gods became the new rulers of the world. Also, as you can see, these mountains are not turning out so bad. It doesn't look as good on camera. I'll probably have some on my Instagram that'll look better, but I've been having fun with it. That's all that matters. So yeah, so they become the new rulers of the world, and they decide, and by they I mean Zeus, probably. I mean, let's be real, he really just, he took advantage of the leadership role after the Titans were defeated, which is fine. No one else really wanted, actually, other people probably wanted to do it. I won't speak for them. And right now I'm just adding some of like the white snow caps. So one of the punishments that he doled out was, after Uranus was destroyed, the sky started to fall because there was no being, you know, holding it up. Like, it essentially lost its soul. So Atlas was charged with basically holding up the entire sky, and I think he was on a mountaintop. That's what it was. He got put on a mountaintop that also was guarded by his children, his daughters, I'll have to look up their names. And they guarded Hera's golden apple tree also up there. No, that might be somewhere else. Oh my god, don't quote me on that. For some reason, I feel like those were in the same place, but I don't know if they actually were. Don't quote me on that. But he was basically left to hold up the sky, which is like insane. And that's why you see, like, that's why it's a term for a map thing. Atlas's name is, I've seen some really cool globes that show like him actually holding like the globe, which is really cool. Which I want one of those. Another thing he did was the Titans that were in the war on Kronos' side were thrown into Tartarus along with Kronos, which again did not make Gaia happy, because literally her whole thing was, I don't like that my children keep getting thrown into freaking hell. And for some reason that was always the solution for whoever was ruling, was like, oh cool, throw them into hell. And that's actually what inspired Gaia to give birth to the giants, and inspired her to, you know, start another revolution. This girl just needs to stop. Like, let it go. I don't know, maybe just deal with the fact that one generation or so of your children's gonna have to be locked in hell, which I know sucks ass, but like, at this point, it's happened so many times, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know, I feel like I would give up at that point. That's like insane. Another act of revenge, I guess you could say, they took was against Helios technically, because I think it was because he didn't help. And Helios kind of gave up his daughter Circe as a sacrifice, my namesake, as sort of a representation of, or a warning of what happens when you mess with Zeus. And, you know, like, she kind of played the Jesus role and took on the punishment of all the other Titans that didn't help, which is so jacked up. Like, okay, she didn't ask for it, and she ended up getting trapped on an island, but she had involvement with other gods and also like heroes later on. So her story's not over. She's got more to say, more to do, girl bossing around the world. I don't know. I wanted to maybe do like two little stick men fighting on the top. I felt like that might be cute, but I might just stick with this and then add like a few trees or something. Yeah. I'm trying to think if anyone, I don't think anyone else was punished, but the only ones that I could recall were put into Tartarus were Kronos' four war generals who held up the four corners of the earth, and him himself, because some of the other goddesses come into play later, but sorry, not goddesses, Titans, but Rhea is not much spoken of after the Titanomachy, but I don't think Zeus would have imprisoned his own mother for basically nothing. So I think quite a few of them, I don't even know if they fought. The myth makes it sound like the four war generals in Atlas and Kronos were the only ones to actually end up fighting in the battle, which is very interesting, because 10 years to fight like 5 people, that's probably why they won, because the Titans were extremely powerful. So I'm gonna do a little bit more work, come back, and I think we're almost done, and I just have to keep a couple more things to say, so let's do it. Okay, so I was gonna do eyelash curler, but I'm literally gonna mess it up if I do that. So I'm just gonna do some mascara. So the last thing that we should probably talk about before I end this video is really like what do they do now, right? I mean, they were not trained to be kings and queens, which becomes very obvious once we talk more about some of the actual myths with the new gods. Like, holy shit. I mean, they really had no childhood, which, anyways, I'm sure that the psychological studies that could be done on these people, and not people, gods, would be absolutely groundbreaking, because they be wildin'. So the thing that is interesting is, so Zeus decides that they need to basically split up the domain, because having one person rule everything just isn't working. And for some reason Zeus thinks this is like a amazing smart idea, except that literally Kronos split up his domain too between the 4 directions. So you're not that special, Zeus. But so he decides to draw straws. Some myths say roll dice, but on whatever sort of way it was supposed to be a gamble or random who got what domain, but honestly I'm sure there was some cheatery involved, because it worked out way too perfect for Zeus. So they decide to draw straws over the heavens, aka the sky, the ocean, and the underworld. So they draw straws, and Poseidon gets the ocean, Zeus gets the heavens, and of course Hades gets the underworld. Which is very interesting to me, because most of their godhood or their personalities, or how we perceive them, or who they are really as the god, is because of what they rule over. So it makes me think, did they become that because that's where they ruled? Were they always meant to be that way? Or did Zeus, knowing that, lie to them and gave the ones that he thought would match them the best? That's interesting, and I wonder about that. But I guess we'll never know, unfortunately. I'm giving myself some sort of marbled lip. I kind of really like this, like, marbly texture that I've been doing. I probably should have studied marble for actual references before I started doing this, but whatever. So with that being said, we still have a lot more to talk about. Relationships, the actual, like, new pantheon, because these are only some of the actual gods. This is just the main 6. We still have the 12 to go over. I don't know if we'll do giants, but let it be known, for now there is peace in the land. For now. And knowing them, it's not going to last very long. But, oh god, I don't know what to do about that disgusting middle part. Let's show you up close first. It doesn't look that great. Okay. You can't even see the trees on this. I don't know. It's not supposed to be, like, I don't post these on my Instagram. They're not super, I don't know, detailed. It's more just something entertaining for you to watch and to do a prompt off of. I can close the curtains a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Does that look cuter? That looks cuter. So thank you guys for coming with me today and listening to me truly and confusingly babble on while I struggle with a look that I maybe regret. I don't know. This outfit's cute, so I'm okay with it. So thank you. Tune in for the next one. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned more and are excited. I'm way more excited to learn about the individual myths. I've heard the origin story a million times. We're gonna talk about it all. And with that being said, I will see you later. Bye. Love you.